The medical bay of the Celestial Harmony gleamed with bioluminescent panels, casting a soft cyan glow across the sterile chamber. Dr. Zilnex, a renowned Thalorian physician with 4 graceful arms and skin that shimmered like polished silver, reviewed the incoming patient manifest with growing concern. "A human," she whispered to her assistant Krav, whose tentacles twitched nervously. "We've been warned about their peculiarities." The galactic medical community had been abuzz with rumors since humanity joined the Confederation 3 cycles ago. Stories of their bizarre biology, their reckless disregard for personal safety, and their tendency to survive conditions that would kill most sentient species. But Dr. Zilnex prided herself on professionalism. She had treated over 40 different species in her career. How different could humans really be? The airlock hissed open, and a human male stumbled through, clutching his arm. His name was Marcus Chen, an engineer from the human vessel Endeavor. Blood, crimson, shocking, impossible blood, seeped between his fingers. Dr. Zilnex's auxiliary heart stuttered. Krav made a sound like escaping steam and backed away, his translator struggling to convey his distress. "By the eternal void," Zilnex breathed. "It's red." Every species in the Confederation had hemolymph or equivalent fluids in civilized colors: blues, greens, clear with hints of violet. The Thalorians bled silver. The Kreks bled a dignified purple. Even the warlike Dendari bled a respectable amber. But red was the color of warning. The color of toxicity, the color of death itself on 1,000 worlds. "Doc, I know it looks bad," Marcus said, his voice strained with pain. "But it's really just a deep cut. Caught it on some exposed wiring during the hull breach repair." "Looks bad?" Zilnex's voice rose an octave. "Your circulatory fluid is the color of a Class 7 biohazard. Are you aware you're literally bleeding poison indicators?" Marcus blinked, confusion crossing his pain-tightened features. "Wait, what?" "It's just blood. Regular human blood. Haven't you guys treated humans before?" The medical literature said humans had unusual circulatory chemistry. Krav interjected from behind a medical scanner, still keeping his distance. "It didn't mention this." Zilnex forced her professional training to override her instincts. She had taken an oath. She approached cautiously, her scanners extended. "Explain your blood to me, quickly, before I activate quarantine protocols." Marcus sighed, pressing harder on his wound. "Okay, crash course in human biology. Our blood is red because of iron, ferrous oxide specifically. It's in our hemoglobin, which carries oxygen to our cells. When it's oxygenated, it's bright red. When it's not, it's darker red. Iron?" Zilnex's 4 eyes widened in synchronized horror. "You transport oxygen using metal? Oxidizing metal coursing through your body at all times?" "Well, yeah. It's pretty efficient, actually." Krav's translator emitted what could only be described as a wheeze of disbelief. "Efficient? Your species weaponized rust and made it the cornerstone of your biology." Despite his pain, Marcus managed a weak laugh. "When you put it that way, it does sound pretty metal." No pun intended. Dr. Zilnex's training finally kicked into full gear. She guided Marcus to the medical platform, her scanners working overtime. "The Confederation's medical database has clearly failed us. What else should I know before I attempt to treat you? We heal pretty fast compared to most species we've met. Our blood clots on its own. That's why bleeding eventually stops. We can tolerate a pretty wide range of temperatures. Oh, and we have this thing called an immune system that's kind of aggressive. It attacks anything it doesn't recognize." "Attacks?" Zilnex was already applying a universal sealant to the wound, watching in fascination as the human's blood began to coagulate around the edges. "Your body contains an internal defense system?" "Doesn't everyone's?" Krav checked his datapad frantically. No, they do not. Most species rely on regenerative cellular harmony and carefully balanced microbiome relationships. You're telling me your body actively wars with foreign entities? "Every second of every day," Marcus confirmed. "Bacteria, viruses, parasites, our white blood cells hunt them down and destroy them. It's pretty hardcore." Zilnex stepped back, her medical readouts showing impossible data. The human's wound was already beginning to close. His body temperature was absurdly high by galactic standards. A fever temperature for most species was this human's normal. His cellular activity was chaotic, violent, and yet somehow perfectly functional. "How do you survive in your own bodies?" she asked, genuine wonder replacing her initial horror. Marcus shrugged with his good shoulder. Evolution, I guess. Earth wasn't exactly a gentle place to develop sentience. Red in tooth and claw, as they say. We had to get tough or die out. Krav pulled up Earth's environmental data and his tentacles went rigid. Doctor, their homeworld is classified as a Class 9 death world. Atmospheric oxygen levels high enough to fuel rapid combustion. Extreme temperature variations. Predators at every level of the food chain. Microbial life so aggressive it can decompose organic matter in days. We call it home, Marcus said with a slight smile. Dr. Zilnex completed the treatment, watching as the human's body took over the healing process with startling efficiency. She realized she was witnessing something the Confederation had never truly understood. Humanity hadn't just survived their hostile world, they'd internalized it. They'd made violence and chaos and metal and fire fundamental to their very biology. Your blood isn't a biohazard, Zilnex said softly with newfound respect. It's a war cry, a declaration that you refuse to yield to a universe that tried to kill you. Marcus looked at his bandaged arm, then at the alien doctor. Never thought of it that way. To us, it's just Tuesday. As the human left the medical bay, Zilnex turned to Krav. Update the Confederation medical database immediately. Section, humans. Subsection, everything we know is wrong. Krav's tentacles quivered. What should I list as their primary biological characteristic? Dr. Zilnex watched the red-blooded human disappear down the corridor, walking off an injury that would have incapacitated most species for weeks. Terrifying, she said, but in the best possible way.